How's it going, guys? This is Fusion Hero, and today I'm here bringing you guys up the Albaz Strike structure deck that just got released. Of course, I am a little late with it, but I got my set in just today, and I'm so excited that this structure deck is finally out. So, with this structure deck, it pretty much has a whole bunch of good reprints in there that it just makes it such like a good versatile structure deck to use. It has a whole bunch of reprints and even some cards like branded fusion, which makes any kind of deck broken since it has Mirror Jade. But let's get started, shall we? Alright. And with the and if you guys haven't noticed, I also got an Albaz playmat here from online, which is really nice. Just kind of show off with a little bit of Albaz support. And of course, the playmat for this is just amazing too. Having both Mirror Jade and Lubellion on the front there. Along with basically the kind of combos you can go for and all that. And also the one thing, the art story. That's just amazingly. It's just so nice how they did that. Alright, and now let's go on to the deck itself. Alright. There. Alright, hold on. Come on. Is it just me, or did they just make these a little bit harder to get in now? Alright. Hold up. There we are. Yeah, sorry about that. I gotta say, these ones are actually a little hard to get into, unlike others. Alright. So, for the first card we have is Tri-Brigade McCourier. This is pretty much, I really like this card. It's pretty much a hand trap if you control a fusion monster that mentions Albaz's material. And not only that, if this card is banished, it adds any form of Albaz or monster that mentions it from your deck to the hand, which actually makes it quite nice. Especially when this card is banished off of Albion, it's even better too. Next is Spraygan's Kit, which I really do like the artwork too. Pretty much it's an extender, And on summon, it takes a branded spell or trap that's either in your graveyard, deck, or that's banished, adds it to the hand. Then you have to place a card from your hand to the bottom of your deck, which is pretty much really nice. Then we got the Golden Sword Soul. Pretty much it's kind of like a little battle, or pretty much when any monster declares an attack, you can summon this card from the hand. And if you control a fusion monster that mentions Albaz's material, it can destroy the monster that declared the attack. And if a monster is banished face up, you could banish this card from field or grave to summon a light spellcaster whose attack equals its own defense from the hand or grave, which is quite nice. But there's actually quite a few that people don't really realize that. Of course, there's a couple. There's like Dogmatica cards, and now pretty much the boss himself, Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. This card is just amazing. Not only is a board wipe if your opponent gets rid of it, but it's a non-targeting banish by sending your fusions to the graveyard, so that you can trigger their effects off during the end phase. And also Lubellion, the Steering Dragon. It's pretty much the exact opposite of Albion. With this, when it's fusion summoned, it can discard a card and allows you to shuffle the materials from your field, graveyard, or your face-up banished into your deck, as long as you summon a level 8 or lower fusion other than himself. So you could pretty much shuffle himself back into the deck to summon out your Mirror Jade, which is quite nice. But not only that, you just can't declare an attack with him during a turn you activate it. And of course, you're locked into fusions, which honestly you don't really give a shit. And next off, pretty much like the best spell that's ever been printed for fusions. Branded Fusion. Honestly, I don't know why they made this card, but at least I know a lot of people say that I don't know why they made the card like this, but they were trying to restrict this card to only fusions. But I tell you one thing, this card basically makes it one card Shaddoll Winda and also a one card Dragoon just by itself. And having this card combined with a Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, you pretty much got yourself almost an unbeatable deck right there. But I usually play this deck for more of the lore version, just kind of continue the storyline. But the artwork just looks so amazing now. And we also got Branded Sword, the new trap. Yeah, this card essentially summons out any number of Ice Blade tokens based off of the number of branded spell or traps that you banish from your grave to activate it. Honestly, you don't really need that effect. I usually just use it for the graveyard effect, to basically add your banished monsters to the hand. And also Branded Retribution. I just love these artworks so much. So pretty much this card is kind of in a way, it's like a solemn in a way, but you have to basically return either one fusion you control to the extra deck or two of them that's in your grave. And it has a graveyard effect where you could banish this card, target a branded spell or trap that's in the grave other than itself, or a copy of itself, and add it to the hand. And just like with Branded Sword, you can only activate one or the other effect per turn, which is fine with me because I probably wouldn't be using them for their first effects anyways. And of course, we got the Fallen Albaz himself as a common. Then we got Albion, the Shrouded Dragon, basically his more upgraded look, I guess. This is pretty nice. And of course, we got Dogmatica Flordalis, the Knighted. So this card can also be summoned off of the Golden Sword Soul. Then we got a reprint of Rada's Darkness Metal Dragon, which is quite nice, even with this Rada. Then we got some Kaijus in here, which is quite nice. In fact, I know there's 2 of them. Of course, light and dark, because, it's a light and dark based deck. And of course, Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. It does look quite nice as a common, but I know a lot of people would rather go for like the more shiny versions. But to me, it doesn't really matter. Oh, there was a Radiant, the dark attribute one. Quite nice. Then we got Artifact Scythe, which I have a feeling that a lot of people are saying that, or I have a feeling that Konami might ban this card, which I will say I agree with it. At first, I didn't agree with it, but I'm like, you know what? Just ban the card along with El Shaddai Winda, so we don't have to deal with these like summoning, like what was it? Basically, like restricting on special summoning of extra decks. Then we of course got White Dragon Wyvern Burster and Collapse Serpent, because you can't have one without the other. Then we got Starlish Seifert, which is a quite nice reprint. I can't remember how much this cost when it first came out, but of course I never played this before, so that's just me. Then since it is a fusion deck, you also got Keeper Dragon Magic to get your branded fusion to the hand. Summoner Monk for level 4s. And got some good hand trap reprints. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, which is nice. And we got Effect there, which is also nice. And of course, got Omni Dragon Brotar, which is quite a nice reprint. And we got Branded Lost, essentially the magical meltdown of the deck, but doesn't search on activation. But it does have a search when you fusion summon a monster. It can search out any Fallen of Albaz or a monster that mentions it from your deck to the hand, which is definitely a quite nice card here. And the artwork just looks so amazing. They just did an amazing job with these Albaz lore. Then we got Branded in Branded in White, which is so nice. Have like the 4 rings of fire right there surrounding him. We got Branded Bond, which basically sums out only Fallen of Albaz that's either banished in your hand or grave. Then we got Fusion Gate, Fusion Recycling Plant, Fusion Substitute, Gold Sark, which is a nice reprint. Pot of Extravagance, that's pretty much a cheaper card now. In fact, it was like only a few bucks in the common version of this deck. Call by the Grave, always nice. Dark Roller No More. Yeah, like you could basically get yourself a set of these structure decks and essentially just get some good tops with it. Then we got Screams of the Branded, which is a nice little reprint, but no one really plays the card, but it just fits into the archetype. We got Judgment of the Branded, Necrofusion, because fusion archetypes. Back to the Front, a nice little reprint. Got Warning Point, which is really nice. There can only be one since it has a lot of different types of monsters in its deck. Dimensional Barrier, because I'm pretty sure this card's going to be used quite a lot in this format. Then we got Waken the Dragon if you wanted to do a troll version. Then we got some reprints of the other monsters before this. Got Titaniclad for the Dogmatica cards and whatnot. Then we got Brigand the Glory Dragon for the Tri-Brigades. Then we got Sprind the Iron Dash Dragon for Spriggans. Then we got Albion the Branded Dragon, which is pretty much like one of your best cards to search out your branded spawn traps. Then we got the tokens. We got Albaz the Shrouded, Ecclesia the Exiled. Like, seriously, these artworks are just amazing. Like, seriously, I don't care how many times I say that, it is true. These artworks are just amazing. Then we got the Tri-Brigade, the whole gang, it looks like. Then we got the Virtuous Vestals. Then we got Aluber, the Dogmatic. Seriously, that artwork is beautiful. And that's it. So that's pretty much it for this deck profile, or not deck profile, but the unboxing of the Albaz structure deck. So yeah, like I'm just so happy that this structure deck finally came out. So well, that's it for me. So I hope you have a good day.